Good morning, dear students. In today's video, we are going to study about the tips for the successful merger. There are various tips where if you go for a merger and acquisition, you have to follow that to make a merger and acquisition successful. First important tips is evaluate your liquidity and financial capabilities. So always we need to do is we need to evaluate our liquidity and financial capability, and we need to know about what exactly our financial statements are telling us. Whether we have a profit and loss account statement which shows us liquidity, which shows us about profitability. Then finally, after knowing all these things, we need to evaluate the liquidity of the other company also, because the liquidity is a very important kind of financial thing, that if you are required of some amount for some transactions or some events, then if you don't have liquidity, you can't succeed in the business. So you need to evaluate your liquidity as well as the financial capabilities for making the capital investments or for investing in the capital assets. Okay, so we need to do a continuous review about liquidity also to know to know about the financial capabilities. The next is put together a team. We need to put each and every resources whatever we are having. It should be made as one team. All the different departments, whether they are finance, human resource, sales, marketing, operations department, and experts of these all field, even the investment bankers, lawyers, accountants, chartered accountants. So all these people should be put together a particular team to make a proper merger and acquisition, or to form a merger and acquisition successful. Because if they don't have a proper coordination between them, then you can find that merger and acquisition is going to fail. So whatever thing they are having in the team or discussing in the team, it has to be properly followed. The strategies has to be prepared on the basis of planning whatever they are doing, and the discussion has to be made with all the experts plus all the heads of the different departments. So everybody should be involved. It's not like we are going for a merger and acquisition, we are not considering marketing department, or we are not considering the sales department. That will not be a proper merger. So you should consider the ideas, views of each and every department to form it as a particular team. Third is initiate a target search. We go for merger and acquisition because we are in need of some target, right? So if you don't have some target or objective, then it is very difficult for us to go for a merger and acquisition. So before going for merger and acquisition, we have to search, identify an ideal company, or a company which is good for us, which is profitable for us. Then the experts of the company or the group should prepare a strategic rules, regulations, and then they have to take the help of the investment bankers or some other people who are dealing in the financial literacy. Screening has to be done about the company with whom we are going to merge. Then after doing a screening, we have to initiate a target search. Means our target search will get completed here. We should not merge with a company which we don't have any financial knowledge, or we don't have any idea about their financial literacy, their business, or their number of customers. We don't have any idea about it. So we have to search the target of the company with whom we are going to merge. This is the third tips. For this, have an acquisition plan. The members of a company, the management has to prepare acquisition plan, that how they are going to evaluate reasons for thinking for merger and acquisition, why they are going for merger and acquisition. That plan need to be prepared. Discussion about merger and acquisition should be made in a group, and each of the member, whether they are coordinators, members of the different respective departments, should be allowed to speak, and whatever is the outcome should be written, and on the basis of that outcome, objectives has to be framed, and then you can prepare a proper acquisition plan. And based on your plan, you have to prepare your strategies, right? First of all, you made a group. Your group was there, your team is there. In that particular group or a team of the different heads, members, management, etc., you have discussed about some issue, like if event like merger and acquisition of your company with some particular company. Then after discussing all of them, they will keep their views, their ideas. Those all points will make some strategies, and after that particular points discussed, you will frame some objectives why you want to go for a merger and acquisition with that particular company. Then you will prepare some proper strategies, how you will be moving forward. Everything will be prepared. So overall, I can tell that the merger and acquisition plan should be established by your goals and by measuring for the success. It is totally a plan for setting our goals and for success of the future. If the acquisition plan is not correctly done, then we can find that we can't reach our goal what we are thinking about, and we are sure that we are not going to get success, because decision is already going to fail because of our acquisition plan. Okay, so this is the fourth important tip, or fourth important thing which need to be followed for successful merger and acquisition. Fifth is establish effective communication channels. We need to establish a effective communication channel. We need to have a proper communication with all of the parties, whether you are doing a communication with the coordinators, or whether there is a communication from the top level to medium level, or lower level of the management. So there has to be a communication, and even there should be a communication like one-to-one communication, right? One-to-one communication with the respective department heads, with the expertise, with the people who are expert in that field. So there has to be a communication. You should take the views of the various things, then only we will come to a particular conclusion. Or else, if it is not communicated to all the parties, then the successful merger acquisition deal will not happen. So each and every person should be communicated, and their answers, their views should be taken. They should also communicate us in return. And based on the communication only, we can prepare a better strategies, or better plan we can prepare. And if anybody has any misconception, like some of the staff members, some of the members, management director, if they have any misconception about merger and acquisition, that misconceptions need to be removed. If you don't remove that misconception, then if you don't communicate about solve their misconceptions, then in future what happens, that misconception will be converted into some kind of doubt, some dispute will arise. So those all things should be avoided in prior only, which means you should communicate to all the interested users or stakeholders, we can call for it. Then practice due diligence securely. We need to practice the due diligence. Due diligence means in detail study about the organization. Like we are going for a merger and acquisition, we don't know what kind of company it is, whether what kind of finance stability they are having, how is the marketing strategies they have framed, or any other things related to the company. We don't know anything, whether legal is there, finance is there, operations are there. So each and every due diligence has to be done. In detail study about the organization of that company has to be done. So in our company, we have some experts in finance. Somebody is there who is expert in technological kind of things. Somebody is expert in legal operations. So those people who are expert in our company, they should go and visit with their team, and in detail they have to study the about these all aspects, and they should give us the report. So that is what we call as practice of due diligence securely. The various things, even it includes the digital technologies also, like cyber security issues, if that company is having, that also should be studied in detail, right? So we need to practice due diligence securely. That is also a very important tip. Then make sure your people can see clearly. We have to tell our people that why we are going for a merger and acquisition. So if we are closing a deal, which means we are going finally for the merger and acquisition, what will be the outcome if you go for a merger and acquisition. And we need to tell them, each and every people who are related to our company, that if you go for a merger and acquisition, what are the benefits our company is going to get. And we have to have a proper leadership, and what are the benefits and synergies will be created if you go for a merger and acquisition. So each and every things should be clearly discussed and informed to the members, right, and stakeholders, right. Like if you go for a merger, we can see that there are some benefits we are going to get by this, synergies we are going to get, maybe financial, maybe operational synergy, maybe marketing synergy. So what are the benefits we are going to get? Those all things should be what we call, make sure your people can see clearly, means they should clearly come to know that we are going for a merger and we are getting operational synergy. Define your goals and success factors. We need to define our goals and our success factor. Like what is our goal for going for a merger and acquisition, and how we are going to get the success, what are our factors for the success. Like, is your goal to increase the market share? Is that our goal, right? Is this our success factor? Ultimately we want more market share, for that sake we are going for merger and acquisition. That has to be defined. Then do you want to enter market, right? Or we want we want to enter in some areas or a market. Is that our goal or success factor? Do you want to acquire a new product? That is our success factor. Or do you want to increase your economies of scale? Like you want to increase production, you want to increase sales, right? You want to increase in profit, cost of production you want to decrease. So is that your success factor, or is that your goal? And these all things, or you want to eliminate your competitors, that is our goal. So what are the things you will be following? If that thing is achieved, means that is a success factor for you. So these are the goals you have to define. For what particular goal we are going for merger and acquisition. Then plan and execute due diligence. Then we plan for the due diligence. Now we have to execute it. The people who are very expert in that field, who are the auditors, who are very good in finance, who are very good in operations, marketing, we should make the group of it. The group should be such that everybody of the group who are there in that particular committee, whether it is finance, operations, marketing, every other group, should not contain entire senior people, and should not contain entire the inexperienced or junior people. It should be the combination of both. Like suppose if it is a marketing team who are going to do a due diligence of marketing activities of the company, then one or two staff who are heading in your department about marketing, senior staff are there, one or two staff. Then remaining like 2 or 3 or 4 staff, maybe like their assistants. For their assistant they are coming, or to assist them, those senior staff, these staff, 4 staff, they are coming. Similarly, in each committee there should be such combination, right? There should be such a combination based on their qualification, based on the experience. So likewise, the committee has to be made, or group has to be made. Then finally, those all people should be sent to the particular company to study in detail about the target company. When they study in detail about target company, then we will have a clear idea that this company is really a profitable venture, or this company is very good to go for a merger and acquisition or not. Now, these are extra what we call tips for a merger and acquisition, like compensate. Like if you go to achieve something, you have to do or pay something in return. That is called as compensate. Now we need to see that the tip is how much compensation we are giving, or how much we are compensating. That is very important. If you are paying more and getting less in return, that is directly a loss for us. So we need to see that how much we are compensating and how much we are getting in return, right? That is a very important aspect. Like if you pay some more money in crores and you are very less amount of net worth you are getting in that company, that means that particular compensate on the basis of that, it is not a right thing, right? Next is communicate. So there has to be a proper communication on both the sides of the management of both the companies, right? The management of one company A and company B
should communicate with each other's management, right? Each other's people, because if there is no communication, there will be a rumors, there will be dispute between the parties or companies. So it can create a lot of problems between a company, and mergers may fail sometimes. Then care, uh, even for the small reasons also, we need to respond quickly and completely. We need to show the care, right, to our members, to the staff members, to the even the merging company also. We need to show the care. Then only a merger will be successful. If you don't show the care to the merging company, then they will feel as the outsiders, and the merger won't be successful. The merger will not be successful. You have to treat those employees, those members, as your own members. Then only the merger can be successful. Care we can call. Kal in the sense, it has to be a good group or team has to be created. Whatever old management was there, we should say goodbye to it, because old management has been dissolved. Now new management will come into existence. A's old management and B's old management is dissolved. Now there is a management of AB Limited. So that has to be taken care. You cannot remove one particular member from the management of A or B. So each and every person should be considered in the group or a team. Then only there is we can call, there can be a very successful merger happens in the nation.